Hello, welcome in everybody. How's it going? Apparently the song does not loop perfectly in 10 minutes, but it does in 15, so that's fine, not a problem. How's everybody doing? Welcome in, we're here. I don't have to hide it anymore. We can just be our best selves. Goddamn, happy Sunday, everybody. How are you all doing? How's your weekend been? You been up to anything fun? Love seeing some new faces and some returners as well. Yes, that's right. Pancake Warrior, my legendary Pokemon battle creator. You know, I gave a pretty I feel like I always say this about working with anybody who's creative. I gave like pretty sparse instructions. I'm like, okay, so I want it to look like a Pokemon battle. And then here's like the script of the move names that I made. Go. Like, I was like, good luck, sir. Hold on. I gotta put my phone down. Yeah, no, it's weird. Okay. How do I say this? It's like yesterday was like a show, you know, like yesterday was a show that I was doing. And so it almost didn't feel real isn't the right word, but like it was so much more formal, right? I had like so much more that I felt like I had to talk about, or like I had to show off and wanted to do and all that kind of stuff. And so like today's the first time that I feel like I'm just sort of like chilling, you know what I mean? Like chilling on stream with this model. And it feels really weird to just be like, yeah, this is the new normal. This is how it be, you know? Hi, Mari. Hello. Yes, Cat Thistle chilling most of the weekend. Nice. I actually, Wifebach asked if I needed any help for like the next upcoming streams, because I was kind of like, I kind of woke up this morning and just thought to myself like, oh my God, I'm so tired and I have like my brain is completely dead right now. And I have a couple hours before stream, this was maybe like 10:30, right? At like 10:30, I was awake. I had my morning energy drink, that's my breakfast. And I was just sitting there thinking like, I really want to just like chill, just like not like stress and work right now this morning, because I know I have a stream this afternoon. But the problem is like I had stuff that I wanted to get prepared for today. Specifically, I wanted to get a bunch of the like work in progress stuff done and get it, or not done, but like get it, downloaded and loaded up into OBS so that I could show you guys and all that stuff. But then it was like, okay, so if I just like rest for a little bit this morning, then pretty soon it's gonna be like noon, and then once it's noon, like I gotta eat and shower, and then it'll be 1, and then once it's 1, now it's like too late. But I also like I kind of said this at the end of the last, at the end of the debut yesterday, but like I didn't know. I planned to do a hand cam stream tomorrow, but I did not have a plan for the hand cam stream. And like Wifebach was like, Honey Galaxy, welcome in. How are you doing, honey? Welcome in. Yes. Wifebach was like, well, how does that impact your planning? And I was like, well, if I stream miniatures, it's just some setup time that I'll have to like bring all my paints over here and decide on a model. If I stream something like cookie decorating, then I need to like get cookies. And if I do something like fingernails or something wacky like that, or some kind of like arts and crafts project, then like I need to do all sorts of like shopping for that and stuff too. And so it was like I need to first decide what I want to do, and then I have to decide if I'm gonna go shopping for it. And then she was like, well, how long is your stream gonna be today? And I was like, I don't know. I have no idea. No idea. I think I'm gonna go for a little bit of a shorter stream today. And by shorter, I mean, I don't know, 2 hours, maybe 3 hours instead of like 4 or 5 hours. So that like gives me some time this evening. But anyway, Wifebach went out. I've decided we're gonna do another like fake nails painting stream. And so I'm going to get some, I learned my lesson last time. Okay, it's not gonna be as crazy as last time. But I kind of had inspiration of like, well, my model has the long black nails, you know, we could maybe do something like that. You know, and like decorate them and I don't know, just kind of something goofy, you know. I don't want to like worry about it too much. I got too many streams planned next week for me to like worry about any of them in particular, you know. Shout out Wifebach. Yes, exactly. So she's out getting me some like fake nails, nail polish, all that stuff. Yeah. It was more formal on stream, but the DMs. What do you mean by that, Aeon? What do you mean by that? What was crazy? I mean, oh, do you mean the one in the middle of the night? I don't think I'm gonna say it on stream. But I read some news in the middle of the night, and it was like taking every fiber in my being to not say something brand unsafe on Twitter. Like every fiber of being that I have was straining. It was like, no, just do it. Who cares? What do you have to lose? Fuck it. Not the strippers? Oh, that's not what I was talking about. I was talking the other thing. Okay, well, so the strippers thing, that one, the strippers thing was a comment from yesterday, because, you know, we were talking about how like, you know, how this model can, you know, has some redeems it can do, you know, and like, if I'm gonna let chat have any control over that, or if this is just purely gonna stay in my control forever. But if we do have chat, like, have control of it, you know, like, how long is it gonna last? How expensive is it gonna be? You know, we need a little bit of inflation adjustment in our index of spending, okay? Because you guys have been getting too many points, okay? Some say you guys have been getting too many points, and like, we need to curb that economy. We need to remove some cash flow from the economy. And Aeon had said, disagree that we need to make our redeems more expensive. Really, I would have thought you would have been in agreement with that, Biff, that like we need to make our redeems a little bit pricier so that we can drain the economy, you know, drain the capital out of it. But anyway, Aeon had mentioned doing well, so what she said, I misunderstood. She said, like, maybe make it a subathon goal, you know, to, like, unlock the redeems. And so she said, you know, like, 10 subs. But what I thought she said was that, like, I should make it 10 subs to do the redeem, like, every time. And I was like, brother, ain't no VTuber fans paying $50 every time they want to take my shirt off. And then, you know, I asked her about it after stream, and she was like, I was just thinking about talking about how much strippers cost. So, not on this website, at least. Yeah, exactly. Oh my gosh, you'll redeem to cover me up. I gotta stay warm. Uh-oh. We got people. We want to have war. You know what? I can encourage warfare. Okay, I can encourage warfare to, like, you know, keep it on and keep it off. That's up to you guys. You guys can have your own, like, clan warfare here. Okay. You found a way to cheat the system because there's a streamer who doesn't realize how points accumulate. I mean, that just seems like that's not cheating the system. That just seems like they don't know what they're talking about. You checked my redeems, they're way too cheap. Well, you know, listen, they don't get redeemed often enough that it bothers me. You get like 220 points an hour, give or take. So I figured, like, you know, I mean, they could be pricier for sure, but, like, you know, they don't get spammed. I don't know. We gotta like figure it out though. We gotta figure it out. It feels weird seeing me undress. I'm Unk. Well, you know what? Listen, people are into different things, okay? All right? Sex sells, all right? Listen, I am not like you, okay? You know, you can call me whatever you want. You can call me cute. You can call me hot. It's fine with me. No jar, am I just hiding it right now? A little bit of column A, a little bit of column B. have not recreated the jar redeem for this model, which you have to like redo it from scratch. So it does not currently exist. Also, I'm hiding it because all of the model redeems I have to redo from scratch. And since I didn't want to do them for the debut, I just didn't bother. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, why do a bunch of work making toggles and like positions and things like that? And because some of them I wasn't sure like if I was going to bring back or how long I was going to bring them back or things like that. And so I just disabled them. Oh, hold on. Excuse me. Excusez-moi. I don't need to listen to myself. I just pulled up Twitch just to check something. It's okay. Don't worry about it. Yeah, so it's disabled because I haven't reset it up. But I'm going to look into like the cost and the duration and, you know, all that kind of stuff if I like reset it up. So yeah. They raise their redeem points instead of putting it on a cooldown for text to speech, so people redeem them on top of each other. Okay. And then during sound alerts, they get missed and they just they raise it. I see. I mean, it's some of both, right? Like, if people are spamming redeems, then you need to put cooldowns on it. Or like if they're spamming them one right after another. But if they're using them too often, you kind of need both, right? You kind of need like to make it expensive enough that people can't be abusing your redeems while also keeping it cheap enough that people are interested in using your redeems. And then also keeping in mind like how disruptive those redeems are. And yeah, I don't know. It's kind of complex, but like there's a lot of dials to turn and a lot of people don't know which ones to turn correctly. To be honest, I'd normally be into it, but it feels weird because you know me personally. Listen, okay, it's fine, okay? Friends can tell friends that they look good, okay? I spend so much time getting ready only for us to instantly hide it. Wait, hide what? Wait. Yeah, let's see. You also keep falling asleep during ulti streams, so you need to have them points on auto collect. Yeah, right. Get your bag. Thank you. Yes, thank you. Yeah. I mentioned it yesterday, but yes, I'm really liking the fact that the new chat widget has different colors based on if you're like viewer, mod, VIP, subscriber, like all of your chat boxes are different based on that, which I think is cool. Taking my new model in redeems. Oh yeah. Exactly. So yeah, so I'm gonna be like keeping redeems off for a while or keeping them very simple. You know, I put back on all the sound ones this morning right before stream because I was like, it's okay if you wanna give me the Karlak, you know, if you wanna play my own voice lines back at me, that's okay, that's fine. But yeah, all the model ones I'm not really planning on adding back for a while. I'm gonna keep the like the Greibach and the Gremlin redeems. Yes. Fuck yes, exactly. I'm gonna keep the Greibach and the Gremlin redeems off for a while. I don't know how long. A while. Some amount of time before I feel like I miss it. But I want all my branding to be my new model for, you know, a while and just like only have this. Okay. All right. Listen, it's been a long process. This is what you're stuck with for a while. All right. Rip Boobbach. Well, listen, she'll come back one day. All right. She'll come back one day. Every time I switch from just chatting to game, you fall asleep. Oh, he as an ulti. You fall asleep. Well, you know, listen, I think there is something about like gaming that is, I think people take a little bit more of a lurky role in gaming because the discussion is a little bit less directed directly at the people in chat, right? And so then your voice just sort of becomes soothing background noise. At least that's how I assume it is. I could be wrong. Thank you, honey. Thank you. Boy got buffed up. That's right. Yes, I did. That's correct. I think it's just because the game they're playing is games you can't play, so you get confused. That's true too. That's one of those things that's actually like subtly very difficult about stream games is how understandable they are to an audience that isn't familiar with them, and whether or not that's something that you're trying to pay attention to, right? Because if you play like one game, if you only play League, or you only play Dota, or you only play Overwatch, or you only play, I don't know, Call of Duty, then it doesn't matter as much if your audience understands it, or if a random person understands it, because you're building an audience around one game. And so it doesn't really matter how complex the game is, because the audience that you're trying to build is going to be familiar with that. And if they don't like it, then they'll just leave, but that's like, okay. But when you do variety, that's definitely something that you have to at least somewhat consider, is like how watchable is it, or how pick upable is it? And I think that that's part of the reason that a lot of the time people eventually start straying away from longer games like JRPGs, because if somebody misses like 3, 4, 5 streams and you're 30 hours farther in a JRPG, they come back and they're like, what the hell's happening? What? What? Or if they miss the first handful, it's like they don't even know what the mechanics are, right? And so then, you know, yeah. Welcome in, Raiders. Hello, hello. Welcome in, Aurora. Thank you for trusting me, trusting your community with me. Words are wording. Yes, welcome in. That's the wrong button. Don't worry about that. That was for how I revealed myself. Welcome in. I am Greibach, your Unk Gamer, cyber vampire. I love chit-chatting and yapping and playing all sorts of video games. I have been a gamer for many, many years, and this is my new 2.0 model. I debuted it yesterday, which is a big project I've been working on for a year and a half, more or less. So yes, welcome in. Thank you for trusting me with your community. If you need to raid and run, absolutely A-okay. We know that it is tough out there. It's tough to stream. Make sure that you're taking care of yourself. Stretch, take a pee break, go piss. All right. But we're just doing a little bit of debut cooldown. We're just chatting, we're just chit-chatting. I'm gonna eventually be going over some behind the scenes work in progress of sort of like what this whole journey looked like on the backside of things, to sort of like, I don't know. I mean, I hope you guys find that interesting. I think it's kind of cool to like look at the evolution of the art and the design, and sort of like the back and forth that goes on, and then how it came to the final product, you know? So I gathered up a bunch of the work in progress pictures that I had from Discord and all that kind of stuff. So we're going to be doing that. We're also going to be streaming pretty much every day for the next week, except for Wednesday. I'm going to take a day off because I'm tired. I'm already tired, and I have several days more streams. But yeah, anyway, yeah. If I missed any toggles, I'm sorry. What do you mean? Wait, what do you mean by that? What do you mean by missed toggles? I popped up on your Twitter page. Thank you for or congrats on the 2.0. Thank you. Thank you. Wait, Twitter or Twitch? TWT? I think of TWT as Twitter. Yes, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. How does one choose between a gothic lesbian dommy mommy vampire, a cute wholesome golden retriever tomboy, and a magical girl kitsune? That's, boy, I mean, listen, if you're asking me, it's gonna be a tough call between the dommy mommy goth girl and the tomboy, because like we stand tomboys in this chat, okay? All right, at least I do, and I'm in charge of this chat, so we love tomboys, but we also love goth girls and vampires, obviously, I would say. Welcome to the database, Amune Fret. Is it Fred or Frey? Could be either way. Listen, languages are hard, okay? Okay. You don't know which you want to be? Oh. Well, I mean, I would say which one is the one that like is the most you without having to put on a face? Because I think that the reality of streaming, if you're doing live stream content, the thing that you have to be aware of is that it's almost impossible to put on a fake persona for many hours And so you kind of have to do whatever feels like the most genuine, authentic for you. And this is mostly about personality, but I guess like think about your personality and which of those aesthetics or combos fits your personality more. No, I'm not. Listen, I can talk about these things. Whether or not I make the best choices personally is a different question. But you know, probably golden retriever. But you also randomly meow, so you don't know how to combine the dog and the cat. I mean, you know, we don't have to explain everything, okay? We don't have to explain everything. Also, I'm gonna have to talk to my chat widget person because some of the emotes apparently get like crazy text. Oh well, we'll figure it out. Miyuki Sawashiro, how did you do? Aeon, how did you? She struck me right in my core. No. Oh, if you're not aware, she is my favorite Japanese voice actress. She has an amazing, deep voice, and it's so good. And she also often voices like tomboy characters. It's a problem. It's a problem. All right, got him. Yeah, you fucking. She came at me with a knife. All right, that's crazy. That's crazy. Oh my god. Anyway. Oh, I don't remember what I was talking about though. She voices tomboys and dommy mommies. Yes, that's correct. Yes, you're true. Yeah, if you've ever seen well, if you've ever actually seen Durarara, or if you've ever seen images of the biker babe with the yellow cat helmet, and like no actual head because she's a Doulahan, that she voices that character. She also voices, oh god, I forgot her name, the tomboy lesbian in Monogatari, Kanbaru. Yeah, that's Kanbaru. Yeah. What if, and hear me out, gothic tomboy puppy vampire cat hybrid thing. Okay, I'm gonna tell you, that's too many things. However, I feel like hot goth girl tomboy can work. I feel like that is like kind of a good meld. But like tomboy is like a clothing aesthetic, or like it's a personality trait. It's kind of a design aesthetic. Goth is definitely a design aesthetic. So you could be like a goth puppy, tomboy. That kind of works. But like if you overload it too much, you're gonna be in for a bad time. Somewhat athletic athlete tomboy. Yeah, exactly. With short hair. She keeps saying my weaknesses. Chat, she's trying to kill me, okay? My own mod is out here with my own weaknesses, just like sharpening the stakes. All right, she wants to end me, and it's like, it's a problem. It's a fucking problem. Anyway. Don't use my own tools against me, okay? All right? Wait, speaking of, wait, hold on. I can also add back my, where is that? Is that this one? Yes, I can do this and I can turn it back on. Done. Okay, great. I turned this off for debut, but I don't dislike it. I actually think it's very funny. I'm the one who paid for the emote. How dare you? How dare you use my own spell against me? Now the emotes should drop off of me again. And so if you drop emotes, they should fall out of the sky. But I felt like that would kind of be like ruining the vibe yesterday while I was doing the model tease, you know, and just like slowly revealing it on stream. If all of the like pogs and kek W's were falling out of the sky around my feet. Side note, you used to try and combat indecisiveness with shapeshifting, but now you just want to have something solid. You don't know how to make words bolded for Twitch? I don't know if you can. Can you? Is that a thing you can do? Wait, hold on. I'm gonna just test that. Hold on. I have 2 guesses. Test? No. No, I have no idea how you bold. I don't even know if you can. Yeah. The K9 Kuro method, claim your 2 alt-universe personas got thrown into a blender and just make your 3rd model to justify how it looks. Yeah, I think, so branding is one of those things that's really complicated too. I mean, okay, let's be honest. Everything is complicated when you when you think about it enough. But the problem with branding is you simultaneously need to be something that stands out, but is also something that is familiar enough for people to understand it at a glance. And those 2 factors are really difficult to reconcile, because if you do something that like nobody knows what the fuck they're looking at, it's gonna be really hard to market. No matter how much thought you put into it, no matter how much effort you put into it, if nobody can tell what you are or tell your vibe, it doesn't matter how accurate it is. It's like people are just gonna swipe, right? But the other side of that, right, is if you do something that's too generic, too known, too understood, then people are gonna swipe past it because they're like, yeah, I've seen 100 of those, right? Like how many like pink cat ear girl VTubers are there whose name has Sakura? It's a lot. Okay. And this isn't meant as like a dig against anybody who has that as their branding, but the problem is that it's almost impossible to stand out with something like that. But by the same token, like, so you got to find that happy medium where you're not doing too many things at once. But like, so it's a really difficult line to walk. You know what I mean? You can't say you've seen one. I've seen at least a dozen. Okay. There are so many. The Sakura bit maybe put it a little bit too niche, but like, you know, like pink comfy sleepwear or hoodie, you know, cat girl with like pink ears and like maybe shoulder, like longer than shoulder length hair, you know, like it's like, I mean, you've seen so many, and again, that doesn't mean that it's a bad design. It means it's hard to market, and that's a different question, right? Like, yeah, you want to incorporate an aspen tree theme so that you might ask your artist friend about that. Okay, that's cool. The last pink VTuber you saw was a cockroach. Yeah, Matara. The thing that's also hard about it is like the best examples that you can see of design or of like marketing and design are people that generally have gotten famous enough that that they can go the other way. Where like, you know, Matara already from her other work in Hollywood, for example. And so like, it doesn't matter that she's like this crazy bug lady because everybody kind of already knows who she is. But like, in order to be, it's like once you get to a certain point, your brand is just you and it doesn't matter like, what your aesthetic is, which makes it really hard to like study and make decisions in that way. You know what I mean? Yeah, I don't know. It's tough. Yeah. Also, how do we feel about this zoom level? Like I have been sort of like playing around with different zoom levels. I feel like part of me like enjoys this because I like to show off more of the body, you know, because like the rigging is so good. But there is something to being a little bit closer up. You weren't talking about her? That's crazy. See, okay, but that's my point. That's my point exactly. Is that like, if you're like, oh yeah, pink cockroach, and I'm like, yeah. Okay, it's Matara Khan. Point exactly. This looks good. Yeah. Hi, Maeve. You're here. You're trying a raft and you're trying to support Daddy Grind. Thank you. I appreciate the support. I hope you guys are all having fun. By the way, I'm drinking my drink today out of my my new merch cup, my mug. Check it out in the store. Hashtag shilling my own merch. Check it out in the store. It's a fantastic mug. It looks great. It's huge. It can store, I think, 16 ounces of fluid. Like, Gry 2.0 merchandise. It's here. It's real. One thing I will say is that I have to do capitalism to pay off to offset the cost of the glow off. Yeah. Yeah. Listen, canny viewers who looked at my slideshow or read my credits can reverse engineer the price of this. It's not pretty. But you know what? I wanted to do a lot of things. There was a lot of reasons that I wanted to do this. The first reason is I wanted to do something much more unique and much more original and really do something that I felt was completely unique. And my old model was somewhat unique, but I've learned a lot. I've learned a lot since then when it comes to branding and when it comes to aesthetics and when it comes to market, like what is in the market and the difference between what I think looks cool and what makes for a legible design, because those are not the same thing whatsoever. Okay. And so I wanted to like start over. Okay. And another part of that was that I wanted to try and spend the whole last, like basically simultaneously, because I know that making a model takes a long time. I wanted to simultaneously start a new model while also trying to work a lot more on being consistent, on figuring out YouTube and TikTok and Twitter in ways that are like better marketing for VTubers, to find some sort of niche for video, etc., etc. And so I was trying to sort of do all of that while also streaming more hours and staying extremely consistent. And it was really tough. It was really tough. And so there's definitely a little bit of a weirdly like bittersweet feeling in that the model is the part that came out the best. Which is great, right? Like the model, all of the aesthetics, everybody cooked with. But like I was definitely under a lot of stress trying to juggle doing this and also all of those other things. And then also all of the maybe like self-judgment, overthinking, overanalysis, analysis paralysis, all of the above. I'm definitely like a high functioning anxiety person. And so like it's been kind of rough, but like, so I had all of this that I wanted to do. And so that was like part of why I wanted this new model. And then like the third part of why I wanted this model was that third and fourth was that again, I'm not going to get super into it for professionalism reasons, but I didn't actually have the greatest experience with my 1.0 model studio. And I'm not going to go into super big details, but there was like kind of some baggage around that I still was hanging on to. And I just wanted a clean slate with people that I had personal references to, that I knew were reliable and were professional and were skilled. And that's what I did. And that was a big part of it, was like wanting to work with people that I could depend on and that were reliable and that were extremely talented. And that was a not insignificant part of why I got this model, is because I want this to be sort of my like mostly forever model, where I use it as a scaffolding to add new outfits, add new hairstyles, you know, add new toggles, things like that, but still have this base be my like baseline, because so it was expensive, but part of the reason it was expensive was to save money later. Right? It's a lot cheaper to get an outfit drawn and rigged than it is to get an entire model drawn and re-rigged, right? Because if they're just adding a new outfit, they're going to use the same body. And that means that all of the rigging work that went into the body still applies, and so they only have to re-rig the new outfit. And so there are practical reasons that I also wanted this model. And so yeah. So yeah, it was expensive, but like I had a lot of reasons that I wanted to do it. And oh right, and then the last reason is I am usually very, now people that know me in real life may not necessarily agree exactly, but I am very miserly with what I consider a good value usage of my money, which is to say that I'm not a like super frugal person, right? I don't live by like, you know, eating a packaged ramen or just rice and beans every night, right? Like I'm not frugal in that way, but I'm also not like, when I impulse buy something, it's impulse buying something that like I can easily afford, if that makes sense. But like I'm driving like a 14-year-old car at this point, and I'm still planning to drive it for probably like 10 more years. You know, like I hold on to things for a long time and get a lot of usage out of them. And this was something that I was like debating on because I wanted to do it, but it was at that threshold where I'm like, this is, I don't know that I can like justify it, if that makes sense. But Wife Bach really encouraged me to like live a little, you know what I mean? For lack of a better term, to like just fucking live a little, you know what I mean? Make that impulse purchase. So instead of my midlife crisis being buying a sports car for like 10 times as much as this model cost, I just bought myself the hottest fucking VTuber model I could imagine and create, fully up to my specifications. And honestly, as midlife crises go, this is like a much much cheaper one. A sports model? Yeah, exactly. A sports model. Yeah, exactly. This model is the sports car model of models, okay? Like it's crazy. Again, part of this is probably, and it's probably the same way with cars, to be perfectly honest. People that don't know shit about cars are not very impressed when somebody talks about like the specs on their car. But like the amount that I can nerd out about the face rigging on this fucking model, or like the like momentum based like turning, like that's another thing that I was like briefly talking about yesterday, was that like there is a slight delay between when the chest moves and when my head moves. So if I'm like, and that's intentional, like that's not a lag thing. That's like a giving body mass to the upper torso so that it responds in like a way that feels weighty instead of like it's made of paper. And like the skill involved and the technique involved in like making this bitch move so smoothly is like, I don't stop nerding out about it. So like very much in the way that car bros are so excited about all their car parts, so too am I excited about, you know, my ear rigging. You know what I mean? Yeah, I can fit so many ponies in this thing. Exactly. Looking at the credits for the debut, and you had the same impressed, horrified feeling of looking at the beginning of a certain war movie and thinking of the costs. Wait, which war movie? Like Saving Private Ryan, or I'm catching up on chat right now. Sorry, I got on a tear, so I had to like finish my sentence before I read chat back again. Hello, how's it going, Cybernetic Hunter? Welcome back. The rigging is crazy, really expressive. Yeah, it's so good. It's honestly, this is gonna sound crazy. I probably could have gotten most of what I will get out of this model for like 65% the price if I removed some of the extras. Like if I only got this hairstyle instead of the second hairstyle. And if I didn't get the white hair, and if I didn't get as many hand toggles, and those would be the main ones. Those are the and the JoJo face. Like, a lot of the costs in a VTuber model are the add-ons, are the extras. Like, if you look at just my rigger, her best tier of rigging, which this is, to be clear, this is the best tier of rigging. Honestly, I think her prices are extremely reasonable. Full stop. I think they're extremely reasonable, full stop. But like, if you don't get add-ons, it's extremely reasonable. Now, if you get a lot of add-ons, then it costs quite a bit more. But like, in terms of the rigging quality for the base price, she cooks, okay? Hell yeah, another digital VTuber? Hell yeah, welcome in. Yes, hello. Yes, you are new here. I am Greibach, cyber vampire or digital vampire. I still like saying digital vampire better, but to point, we were talking about marketing earlier, and maybe some people don't know what digital implies, but like cyber is a more commonly like understood or searched like concept, I guess. But yes, I'm a digital. I am a digital VTuber. That's right. Digital vampire. I consume other content and content creators and energy across the internet. Yeah, that's me. Hello. Welcome in. Hope you enjoy your stay here. Salty did a ton of incredible subtle things that I'm still finding. What are like, can you give an example, Aeon, of like what you're talking about? I'm a Digimonster? You're goddamn right I am. Oh, speaking of, we did bring back the TTS now, and Hex says it. She got her cute little mouth that opens, you know. Deserves a pin. Here we go. We'll pin that. We'll get that. We'll do it till we manually pin it. Aeon can always unpin it if she wants to. If she gets embarrassed. Also, hey, Ulti, how's it going? Welcome in. My brother from another mother. That's right. You get that? You don't mind explaining what I am? That's true. A model with lips? Couldn't be me. Is my debut as amazing as was it as amazing as I hoped? Yes, it went great. I'm like honestly so wiped out still. I'm like the amount that I've been like planning in advance, right? Because I scheduled the entire month of like shorts and Twitter posts before the month started. Except for the last week. I basically scheduled 3 weeks ahead for everything, including my entire next week of streams. But as the debut got closer and closer, I found it harder and harder to work on stuff for like next week. And so now here I am, and I'm like, I'm gonna stream every day this next week. I still need to do some prep for those. But like, I'm getting more and more tired. Listen, it's gonna be a fucking gauntlet, okay? It's gonna be such a gauntlet because we're doing a hand cam tomorrow. We're doing an Overwatch collab on Tuesday. I think I'm gonna do a cooking stream on Thursday. And then Friday, I'm gonna do another type of like chatting stream, like maybe a Reddit reading stream type thing. And then on Saturday, I'm playing Blood on the Clock Tower, but an hour before stream, I got invited to Alara's tea time. That's also on Saturday, which I'm gonna do. And then on Sunday I was planning to not stream, and I'm still not gonna stream, but Sid is having his 1,000 follower event where he's doing like 36 hours of streaming, and so I'm also collabing on Sid's channel on Sunday. I'm like so fucking tired, and I still have like stuff to do, but like I wake up in the morning and I'm just like, wait, no, I have something for this. I wake up in the morning and I'm just like, God, kill me now. I'm so tired, and I'm gonna stream today, and I need to prep for today's stream, and I need to prep for tomorrow's stream. It's a bit, yeah, no, it's gonna be bad. It's gonna be bad. This is the best face rigging for a male model I've ever seen. Oh, yeah. I mean, this is the best rigging for a male model I've ever seen. Like, I mean, I guess maybe excluding Salty's other rigs, right? Because she also rigged them. But damn, the way she made this body move, like, sheesh. I'm doing great. Streaming is not for the weak, especially playing. Oh my God. I know. You know, in some ways, I'm gonna hate if this is the takeaway lesson. Okay, all right, hold on. I'm gonna pull in a little bit closer here. If the takeaway lesson is that the best way for me to get over my decision paralysis and analysis paralysis is to make myself so busy that I literally don't have time to think about the consequences of my actions, and if that works, I'm gonna make fucking lose it. I'm actually gonna be so mad if that helps. I'm gonna be so mad if like the answer is to like be so busy that I feel reckless. I need to use this business model. I know, because it's actually kind of funny. So some of my IRL friends actually did like a watch party for my debut stream yesterday, which was low-key embarrassing, which is funny. So I went after stream to go hang out with them for like a couple hours. And it's funny because I don't find it embarrassing if they're like at their own homes watching me individually, but like making a party to watch it together suddenly made it feel a lot more like I'm exposed. I don't know how to explain it. Like I know it is cute. It's very sweet. But it's like, it's high-key so much more embarrassing to have 5 friends watching in the same room than it is 5 friends watching from their PCs or their phones. Like, I don't know. There's something about it that feels like so much more like intimate or something. And but what was I gonna say? Wait, no, this connected. Oh, right, yes. And so Wifebach went over and watched with them. And she did a little bit of market research for me because I struggle to identify my own strong points. Okay, I'm very analytical, but some might say that I'm too analytical of myself in some ways, to a point where I don't like see the assets. I just see like a giant collection of things, and I don't see the forest for the trees, or whatever that saying is. So I like genuinely don't know my own strong suits a lot of the time. And so she asked some of my friends, which is very sweet. And she came back with a fucking notebook of like, what are Greibach's strengths as a person, as a creator, yada, yada. She gave him a fucking quiz, which is very her. One of the things that one of them said was that I'm very good at very quickly identifying the pitfalls and the troubles and the dangers and where things can go wrong and explode. And because of that, I'm very good at finding solutions that are typically not the straight out of the box solutions and are simultaneously unconventional but elegant and work really well. And I was like, oh, that's really sweet. And I don't entirely disagree, but the problem is when the problem gets big enough, it feels like there's just an infinite number of pitfalls, and it makes it really hard for me to come up with that elegant solution. And that's how I feel all the time when it comes to like content and marketing, is I'm like, the number of variables is infinity. I know so many things, and the problem is I know like even the best advice. I know all the pitfalls to that too, and so I have like such a hard time picking a fucking lane ever. But like maybe if I just literally don't have time to think about it, I'll just have to do it and just be stressed about it after the fact instead of before. Yeah, it's overwhelming. Take it from me as a clinical therapist. What you said will help. Wait, what I said will help. What? Wait. As in like being so busy that I don't have time to think about it. The problem, okay. You're probably right. The problem is like, as somebody with generalized anxiety, that's the biggest nightmare scenario of all. It's like, cause like I wasn't nervous yesterday. Okay, and I think that that's atypical. I think most people would be kind of nervous before a big debut that they've been working up to the whole time. But I was just like, no, I've already done all of the I've crystallized the thinking, and I'm fine with it. I'm fine with things in the moment, but it's like the infinite potential of the future is terrifying to me. But the past is the past. I'm also like fine with letting the past be the past. It's like, well, I can't change it. I already did it. This is a way that Wifebach and I differ, is that I stress about things that haven't happened and we have to make a choice. But once the choice has been made, I don't stress about it anymore because I'm like, we already picked it. We already decided. Can't change the past. Whereas she like stresses out about past choices all the time. So anyway, anxiety is stressing before the stress happens. Exactly. Okay, we have ads starting in 35 seconds. Why borrow problems from future you? Because the answer is that the answer is that you can avoid problems for future you. You know what I mean? It's like, should I go jump on the trampoline after eating an entire gallon of chili? That might make me unwell. Perhaps I should not do that. Instead of just like shitting my pants. Okay, we're gonna be right back. Make sure that you are stretching and hydrating yourself, etc., etc. We're gonna hydrate and unhydrate. We'll be right back. Okay, this music fucking slaps though. That music slaps, okay? Anyway, yes, we have a slightly different overlay because I think I'm gonna start the slides here in a few minutes because I have quite a few and we already filibustered quite a bit. But yeah, so, okay. How do I say this? Worrying about something that you can't control or can't change is definitely an example of like borrowing your future use problems, and is I'm not gonna say that I don't do it because I do that too. But it's much more of a thing of, okay, let me put it this way. You've worked in like productions, right? Like stage productions, you've worked in, or just like any work that you do with your hands, right? Like, and if somebody's like, hey, I'm gonna start this thing. I'm gonna learn how to blacksmith in my backyard. Let's go with that. I'm gonna learn how to blacksmith in my backyard. Like, tell me that your mind doesn't immediately go, okay, listen, there's about 12 problems with that, okay? Like, no. See, I'm using you as somebody who has expertise in something. So if somebody says that, and your first response would be like, okay, listen, okay, first of all, have you looked at the price of steel? Second of all, do you know how hot you have to get a fire to make an anvil work? Third of all, have you talked to the fire commissioner for the permits? Fourth of all, like, it's very expensive. Do you know if you have any interest in this? Fifth of all, you're gonna get burned. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you're gonna have a lot of very practical things for that person to be aware of, right? To avoid pitfalls that they probably haven't thought of, right? Are you with me so far? Do you see where this is going? Because you're trying to understand the analogy and trying not to be triggered. Why would you be triggered? I mean, I'm just making up examples, right? But you get my point, right? You have an immense amount of subject matter expertise. And with that comes the ability and desire to head off problems before they become problems, right? Right? Am I right? I assume I'm right about that, right? You keep telling people to start with cold forming. Okay, right, exactly. Okay, this is my point. Okay, great, fantastic. Okay, we're on the same page. And so the problem is, I am like a knowledge and deep dive and like thinking an analytical person about everything. And so the problem is, when I am trying, like, I am both voices in my head. I'm like, I want to start blacksmithing. I'm gonna try and think of all the things that Aeon would tell me. You know what I mean? Because like there's very, I'm trying, that's what like the anxiety part of my brain interacts with the like analytical calculating part of my brain and the knowledge part of my brain and forms this horrible hydra that's like, yes, I can foresee all sorts of pitfalls that are coming and I want to avoid all of those, right? And where that gets dicey is where there's a choice, right? So when you're presented with, not only do I want to do blacksmithing, but it's like, okay, well, I can either start blacksmithing, I could get a pilot's license, or I don't know, whatever. I could start my own business making ceramics or whatever, like 3D printed things or whatever. Then my brain goes into overdrive and tries to think about all of the pitfalls for all of those things, and then also all of the upside for all of those things, because there's an opportunity cost for time and effort and energy and money of like, there's only so much of all of those things. And so like, it, you know, doing something that everybody who knows what the fuck they're talking about would look at you and be like, bro, you're about to waste so much time and energy and money for something that's going to crash and burn, because I'll tell you that right at the start. You don't even need to start it. I can tell you it'll crash and burn. So like my brain does that with everything. If there's like a significant downside, if there's a significant cost, associated with it. My brain tries to do that. And the problem is that when you look at everything through that lens, everything has drawbacks and like pros and cons. And then it becomes really difficult for me to weigh the pros and cons unless it's like extraordinarily obvious, right? Like if it's extraordinarily obvious, it's no longer a problem. But the problem is that most of life is not extraordinarily obvious. And so that is why I have like decision paralysis or it's more like analysis paralysis is like, you know, you can only have one. And I know that there's a lot of pros and cons with both of them. Yeah, you're all for going whole hog on a skill tree, but you'll crash and burn unless it's both focused and specific. Yes, correct. Right. And so my problem is like the analysis paralysis of it is of like trying to lock in. Because once I'm locked in, it's easy because I've already thought about all of the problems. It's like I'm not borrowing future me's problems. I'm alleviating future me's problems so that in the moment, I don't have to stress about it. I don't freak out in the moment. Like in the moment, I'm already prepped. I'm fine. I'm good. I'm locked in. I've made my choice. I've prepared as good as I can. But it's in the deciding, it's in the planning that I feel like an infinite sea of possibility. And that's partly why I have such a hard time with the design, right? When I've talked about this before with like visual aesthetic design, it is a million times easier for me to do an A/B test on something than to just make an A. Because I'm like, it could be anything. There's many forms that Gry 2.0 could have taken. And for me, that's like an impossibly infinite nexus to try and like visualize out of the chaos. But as soon as I was given, this is a good segue. As soon as I was given some ABs, I was like, yes, fantastic. Fantastic. I can do this. Like I can choose between these things. Like this is easy. I can say, okay, I like this. I mean, somewhat. Okay, listen, Aeon, you can call me out here because you know that I also polled you, but I also like to like run things by people, you know? Okay. All right. But it was like, I like to like talk to experts, get other people's opinions in DMs, so many DMs. Shut up. Shut up. I'm the wrong person here. Anyway, but you get my point. Okay. You get my point. It is so much easier to say like, okay, these ones are out. I'm debating between these two, right? So like this was actually like 3 different sets of sketches from Zungi that she like compiled into one like mega. So we actually did the first top one on a Discord call, and then when she later sent me this on Discord, she just like expanded the canvas and then added the other additions. But yeah, this was the Gry 2.0 Inception, okay, where we did some. It was fun going through concepts. Yeah. Well, it's like that, but like all the time. Cheeks clapped. Really? Am I getting my cheeks clapped by my mod that like can call me out? You missed the beginning? Well, that's okay. This is actually the beginning of the slideshow. We've just been chit-chatting this whole time about like the debut itself and things like that. Okay, we'll go into like professor mode. But yeah, this is the origins of the 2.0 design. We started with the head shape. The ears were like perhaps even slightly more bat aesthetic. You missed the art though? No, this is the art. This is the art. We're just starting the art an hour in. This is the first page. This is where we started. This was Zungi's first effort, where I had said that I liked in the top here hairstyle number 3 the most, but I also kind of liked hairstyle 2 because it sort of harkened back to my 1.0 design, but like hairstyle 3 was my favorite overall. And then she gave me some color variations of both of them while simultaneously giving me the RGB variations, right? Because it's like, what kind of circuit pattern do you want? And I'm like, man, I couldn't tell you that. But as soon as she gave me those, it was really quick that I narrowed in on the top middle. Like I really like the aesthetic of sort of having like an eyeliner part of the RGB and like going down the sides of the face like that. And also, yeah, so it's like, that was really easy peasy. And then we moved into the silhouettes in the bottom left there for the body. And I actually had a hard time with that because like, since they were sort of lacking in detail, I actually had a really difficult time saying which of them I liked the most. So I was kind of like, it's between 2 and 3 in different ways. I don't want to have like asymmetric wings like that has, but I like the like vibe of the third one. This is where she wanted to, I love reading her notes. This is where she wanted to get like the body type right, you know, where it was like, okay, I was talking about how I wanted to be like more muscular, a little bit older looking, but I didn't want to have like, you know, like super gigantic pecs and all that kind of stuff. And so she drew this and I was like, yes, that's correct. You'll notice her notes, it says show neck more, how lewd. But then we went from there to the actual like design draft. There was a point in the design where I was thinking about having like glitch effects as part of my design, but I wasn't exactly sure how to implement that. Zungi's a lot of fun to spitball with. Yes, she is. She's really great. She's really great. And I especially love being able to do it with her over a Discord call. I thought that it was like a very fun experience. So yeah, there was a time where I was thinking about having sort of glitch effects on my model, like at all times. I eventually kind of moved away from that because it's kind of visually distracting and also has problems with green screening and stuff like that. But at this point, they were still part of the core design space. Yeah, this is what it looks like for me to do feedback. I don't know. Listen, any artists in the audience, feel free to tell me if this is good or bad client feedback. I made a lot of small notes and gave them different colored and text. It would have been easier to read in general, like in an image thing, but it's, you know, it's been compressed and stuff. We talked about what the glitch effects would look like, toggleable on and off, parts of the design that I really liked, parts of the design that were like not quite what I was imagining or things like that. The art book. What do you mean by the art book? I said that I wanted like the nails, you know, original Grey 2.0 had gloves. And I was like, nah, I want monster hands. I want nails. Yeah. Funny that I said long hands with sharp nails, but not super long. These nails are actually like pretty long. Oh, this is behind the scenes sketches. Oh yeah. I see what you mean. Yeah. Well, that's kind of what I was like envisioning for part of this stream, you know, aside from just like saying hi to everybody again, was being able to go through and sort of like peel back the curtain on some of these things and see what people thought about it. This was the first color sketch for the chest and the design. Note, of course, the highly detailed design document in the top left of a computer with RGB parts out the wazoo. But yeah, like this is when I was like, yep, okay, we're cooking. We're starting to cook here. Moving on into the like full sketch. Yeah, full sketch. Now, there is something here that I did not show at the debut, partly for time and partly for some technical reasons. We had talked about the concept of my wings being like holographic, which they are. But because they're holographic and because I'm digital, being able to like transform into other things like a cape. And I was sort of imagining like a combination of like Kamina's cape from like Gurren Lagann, while also being something that's like sort of like digitally fragmenting at the edges. At the end of the day, it is something that I cared the least about on my design. And there's some levels of, I just need to make progress forward. I do have the cape as a separate live 2D item because my model has too many layers and was too chunky and heavy. and there was some sort of like technical implementations where we were having a really hard time like drawing it so that it looked kind of like how I was envisioning it. So I do have the cape. I'm not sure how much I'm gonna use it, but it was kind of one of those things of like, we just need to move on. We just need to move on. So you will maybe see the cape one day. It's also going to be in some of these art things, but you know, the core thing I wanted was the wings. I wanted them sick wings. This is a call out. Zungi very respectfully, of course, sent me a screen cap of this in DMs and said, are you okay if I tweet this? Model so beefy, you wonder how I'll collab with other models. I'll have to have them turn down their layer resolution if they want to collab with me like that, or I'm gonna have to just use like VDO Ninja because it's beefy. Okay, it's beefy. Actually, my model plus Hex is too many layers for the base layers, which is crazy. My model itself is like 240 layers or 240 masks. And the base is 256. Fortunately, by lowering the resolution by one level, it goes up to 1024. So yeah, it's dummy thick. Speaking of Hex, this was our design discussion on that because I didn't know exactly what I wanted there either. I told her that I wanted to design my mascot. I was sort of going back and forth between something like a raven or a crow because I love corvids. I love me some little smart black, you know, ominous birds. But also bat is like pretty on brand. But aesthetically, I wanted it to be more like Pokemon style rather than like realistic. So as you can see, you know, my notes in the call were bird, Pokemon, spirit, crow/raven, ? And these were a few of the different little designs that we were looking at. Honestly, the one that's like just the head is also kind of cute, low key. But I really like where we ended up on this. It's kind of like Noivern or Noibat inspired with my color schemes, but also with like the little like ghost wispiness, which I think is cute. I think it's cute. Yeah. This I felt. Listen, Blue Mary, if you ever see this, don't take this the wrong way. I was like not sure I felt very like conflicted. This was the very first like quick sketch I got back, and I had a hard time bridging the difference between like rough sketch versus like what final art would look like, because like a lot of these I really did not like the look of, but like a big part of that is that it was messy, like on purpose. And so I had a really hard time like figuring out exactly what feedback I wanted to give, but it was kind of fun to be able to say like, okay, these are the things that I like about these different, like each of these different ones. Like each of them has different combinations of like eyes, both in terms of like size and shape, as well as the nose style, the lip style, the I think the hair is the same on all of them because it's like just the face, but eyebrows, eyelashes, like all of these details are different on all of them. And so what I ended up doing was like a big mismatch of like, okay, kind of like this nose, kind of these two's eye shape, kind of these lips, you know, sort of, but like, it was kind of like, I don't know. I'm like, it was really weird because like, again, it was obviously a messy sketch, but I've seen her art. Like you know, I know what the models look like. So I was like, none of them, you know, which like felt weird. I felt like I was gonna like, I didn't know how to like say that. So I didn't actually say none of them. I tried to like get the elements and then she gave me like an updated sketch and then I felt a lot better very quickly. But I was like, I don't know. But that makes me feel a little like guilty about it. They're quick, fast. I know, but like in my brain, I'm like, they all look kind of bad. I don't know. But then we got like this because I was talking about modifying the hairstyle because I didn't really, this like hairstyle also wasn't doing it for me, but I wanted something like it. So then she gave me an A/B test of the different variations for hairstyle number 2. You know, the face looked so much better in this one, like already, right? It's like, these are still obviously like sketches, but these sketches were enough less rough that I could see the connection to how it was going to look at the end. Do you know what I mean? I paid a lot for it, so I should be paid. I know, but okay. I think part of this comes from me, both having worked as a software engineer and also worked with like the customer service side of things, where like, I don't know how much work something is. And I hate being like, no, bad, start over. And so I get really like anxious about giving artist feedback at like certain stages. I'm getting better. I'm getting better about it. I'm getting better, but it was hard. It was genuinely kind of hard for me. Yeah, so we did these hairstyles. Now, I am curious, chat. Which of these hairstyles do you like the best? Don't worry, you won't hurt my feelings. I'm totally okay if you guys don't like the one that I picked as much as some of the other options on display here. It's a lot of work to make a VTuber model, but I paid a lot. True. I know. It's probably because I'm also like shy about my artistic ability, even though that's not my profession. So like, something like that. There were 2 very distinct camps among the people that I asked, and it was very much between hairstyle 1 and hairstyle 4. And I feel like there was very little overlap. 3 is better than 1, 2 is greater than 4. Interesting. Okay, fascinating. Yeah, I like 1. I don't like 4, at least not for me. 4 looks like a lawyer to me. I don't know how to explain it. He looks like a fuckboy lawyer, and I didn't like that. I did not like it, for me anyway. But like a couple of my friends that I asked about it, they're like, holy shit, 4 is hot. And I'm like, ugh. Girl, I don't know if I like your taste in men. Thank you for the input. You don't like 1 or 2? Okay. Yeah, fair enough. No, to be clear, 1 and 2 were missing the other colors. I did end up going with 1. Personally, I liked 1 better than 3, because 3 was the original one. But if you missed it yesterday, this is my alt hairstyle. It's okay if you like 3 more. 3 is a little bit more like messy than I liked. I think it's mostly that I didn't like the like double, the like, I didn't like quite how curly it is. 4 is hot though. All right, listen, too bad. You like 1 with the colors? Okay, I was about to say 1 and 2, she was like ignoring the colors, just the style. Yeah. Yeah, no, it's okay. It's okay. This is like definitely my like less favorite hairstyle. I was so much more in the phase of like being attached to my current model back then. Whereas like now I've spent so much time with this hairstyle, you know, just like in the cooking chamber, that I'm like, I honestly don't even care about the second hairstyle that much anymore, but it's fun to have, you know, you never know. You like 3, but you want to bully 4 the same way I want to bully Edgeworth. That's crazy. That's so funny. Yeah. Next up, this was earring design. Yeah. Earrings were not part of my original design with Zungi, but when I was talking to Blue Mary, I think she asked me if I wanted earrings, and I was like, I kind of do, but I don't have any designs. Like, would you be okay sketching some for me? And so she did, and so we were sort of like playing around with these different stylings, and then I was like, oh no, I like a lot of these. Unfortunately, it turns out that when you work with really talented artists, they do a lot of things that you like. That means you either have to pay a lot of extra money or you have to choose between your favorite babies. But yeah, obviously I went with number 5, but we decided to go with gold instead of the teal. And then sort of a combination of 1, 2, and 3, where like this one has 2 of the like rings, but also a stud up in the corner, and then it has the like a chain with that diamond style from 1. So yeah. And then this was where I was like, okay, all right, we're coming together. Like, I'm seeing the vision. I'm seeing the vision now. All right. Like, I'm fully seeing where we're headed, full speed ahead, and I fuck with it. Okay. Yeah. Greibach is artist. Oh no, you're actually good at the job I hired you for. I know. Then I have to make decisions. I've already established. It's my one weakness, is like deciding. Listen, if you bring me a problem, I'll give you great advice. I'll give you great advice. Hey, Kyle, what's up? I'm good at advice and finding problems for other people, and I'm really good if they know what their brand is to help them with their brand. It's just deciding a brand involves deciding, and that is like, it's like impossible. But I am happy to say I'm not the only one who has this problem, okay? Yam talks about this too, where she's like worried about branding on things, and I'm like, no, this is your branding. It's totally fine. Do this, don't worry about it. Maybe do this instead of that. And it's like so easy for me to give her branding advice. But she like struggles with her own branding, but she, you know, literally does branding for her job. The hair without the blue and purple wash out the skin. Yes, that's true. Yeah, that's true. You went cow with your branding? I mean, wait, you, yeah. Like, yeah. So like you're like a cow VTuber. Is that what you mean? Now here's what we were talking about yesterday with the nose. This was where we decided the nose shape. This was the nose shape discourse that I had to think about a lot, and I am still happy with what I went. I think that this is like the most interesting of the noses. In case it's not obvious, I went with number 2. But it's something that I had literally never thought about until we were doing it, and I was like, wait, actually that is pretty different. Like, that's a pretty different vibe between these ones. You haven't made your model yet, but you will be. Hell yeah. Yeah. Anyway, I went with number 2. I like the shading. I really don't like number 3, and I can't quite put my finger on why. I feel like it makes the nose feel like it's very, very upturned, almost like a snout, which is fine if you're a furry model, but yeah, you like 2? Yeah, I think 2 looks really good. And then my question became like, well, what does that look like rigged? Because I don't think I've ever seen this style of nose rigged, but you know, I saw some good examples, and in Salty I trust. So yeah, we went with number 2. Yes, great. Yeah, this was just more of a sketch again once we'd sort of finalized all of the pieces. Just a couple of these with like quick glances, quick refines. 3 looks like a pug snout. Thank you. We of course had the wings. Now this was another thing of like, what do you want your wings to look like? So we have 3 options. I'll go between them quickly. And I obviously picked number 3. I really like the more like angular. It kind of reminds me of, oh fuck, what's her name from Darkstalkers? The succubus. I really like this wing style a lot. So we went with 3. But you know, just again, it's like the type of things that you don't even necessarily think about, because you're like, yeah, wings. And then they're like, yeah, but I have to actually make them. I have to actually make one. You have to choose. Morrigan, that's the one. Yes, thank you. What's my favorite character in Has Been Hotel? I have never seen it. I probably should, but I've never seen it. That's a crazy question. Well, shockingly to all viewers, I am unfortunately heterosexual. So no, I don't beat it to my own avatar. But I would. Hey, Lucky Puppy, welcome in, bud. How's it going? The late follow is crazy. Bro has a wife. Listen, having a wife doesn't mean you can't swing both ways, okay? I do have pretty bisexual colors. I'm lulling people into a false sense of security, okay? Well, not security, because you should feel secure. I did have the feedback that I liked the number 3, but I wanted them to be bigger, have more of an arch so that they went up closer to head height. So that's what we went with. So she gave me an A/B test on that as well. So we did indeed go with the bigger wings. I'm sure they do too. We have a few different screenshots here of the of like the different toggles, the wine glass, the controller and stuff. You were surprised. I know I don't give off that vibe. Okay. I know that my voice and my mannerisms and the fact that I'm totally secure with making jokes about having sex with the homies does give off mixed signals. I get it. I understand. I'm the stealth straight. Okay. Like, I am the rainbow colored stealth bomber. I just blend in with the crowd, okay? I am regrettably straight. I am regrettably straight. If only. I almost feel guilty not being bisexual. Now, this is one that I think a lot of you, the bald Loki slays. Bald? Yeah, so this was an interesting point of feedback. Straight as an arrow, just the heat waves got people second guessing. That's actually such a good metaphor. I love that. So I asked her to redo these eyes, which is like, it was something that I didn't quite know how to address exactly, but it's not that these eyes don't look good, but they don't look like what I was going for. These eyes remind me of a physical disc, if that makes sense. Especially the lines around the eyes look a little bit too, I don't know. I couldn't quite put my finger on it, but it reminded me too much of like a solar array or like a physical disc. And I wanted it to look a little bit more, like vampire core for it, even though the shape was right. So I actually asked her to redo these, but like I kind of felt bad because I couldn't explain exactly what I meant, but it ended up working really well. Ultimately, we then got the update where she gave me like the second version, the second sketch of the eye, and got the second sketch of the eye, and I was like, yep, okay, amazing, immensely better. This is much more what I was looking for. This is much more what I was looking for. I like just something about the way that this eye looks is much more my speed. Yeah. Did you know that you can't snap your fingers inside your mouth? I actually think that you can if you can fit your fingers in your mouth the right way. I'm not gonna try it though. Have I come up with lore yet? Yes, I have come up with lore. Long ago, on the early days of the proto-internet, I was browsing the web, a normal mortal man, or perhaps a boy, a young man back then, when I encountered a mystical computer virus that sucked me inside of the internet, and now I've been transformed into this creature you see before you, a digital vampire that feeds off of content and other energy and computer parts. Hello there, welcome in Raspberry the Fox. You get to see the model. Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. When you first saw the eyes, you did think of the brackets, even though the logo for the editor is the same color. This is where you get to see some horrendous live 2D, where like the mouth looks horrifying when you're looking at the teeth. I asked for longer teeth because I thought that the ones on the right were like not quite noticeable enough. You get to peel back the curtain, some true horror. Yeah, you see me on Twitter, but you need to see it in action. Wait, hold on. We can get a little bit more intimate right now. We can pop up so that you can see the face. Really, all of the rigging on this model is top tier, but the face in particular is it's really good. It's really good. I'm not gonna mince words. Like, it's really good. She knew what she was doing. She cooked, and I'm here to eat it up, okay? Like, I'm here to eat it up. She cooked super hard, okay? We can lean in a little bit, you know? Yeah. It's so pretty. It really is. It really is. Yeah. That's right. We were debut siblings, so to speak. That was crazy. There were so many people debuting the other day. All the ladies and all the ladies cooked and you fed us with this model. Let's go. Thank you. Yeah. She got you wanting to rig your model. Yeah, I think Yam asked me if I had any recommendations, and I'm like, Salty's not cheap, but she's worth it. And if you can deny the impulse to get too many add-ons and just get a tier 3 rigged model that's without a bunch of extra shit like I did, it's much more in budget. Anyway, yes, this is the monstrosity that is the mouth without its lips. And then this is where we had the like, okay, it's fully rendered. Okay. This is the first fully rendered shot I had of the model. It is scary. It is truly. Damn, dude, I got some sus people in the YouTube chat. Der pics on though. Yeah, this is when I was like, damn girl, you cooked hard. All right, fuck yeah, let's go. Yeah, some beautiful work in progress, where we had the head, and then we started working on the body. I was given notice of the clavicle was appreciated by some female fans of mine. The collarbones and the clavicle and the neck. All right, and they're killing it. All right, gives me dark romance. I can live with that. They eating, hell yeah. We of course started getting some body shots fully rendered. There was a lot less back and forth on this phase because it was like, I don't know. I think the face, we spent the vast majority of the time on the face to make sure that everything was exactly how I looked at it. And then I was like, yes, Blue Mary, I've seen your male models. They're extremely hot. Give me their bodies. Make me their bodies, okay? So we can go through a few of these. You love the collarbones? Let's go. Amazing. Okay, fine. Let me correct myself. It wasn't just the female fans that loved the collarbones, okay? There were some others. We of course got the first fully shirtless, the cheese grater abs, you know? You love the chest in the way you shouldn't? Why? Stop, I'm married. That's okay. You can enjoy some digital vampire after dark, you know? Like, listen, it can be our little secret. Gry mousepad when? I don't know. I'd need to get a lot of orders for that. This was doing the like pose for the controller. You know, we got the assets though. Yeah, there we go. There's our controller. Just for reference, we've got doop, boop, boop, doopy doop. Meow, meow. You love the controller hands? Yeah, I really like it too. I think it looks really good. And I really like that I can switch between fully controlled, where like the buttons are pressing whatever I press, or an animation loop so that it just like kind of generically looks like I'm playing a video game, you know? I found all the wild ones on YouTube. Holy shit, the YouTube chat is going absolutely ape shit. Holy crap, brother. So many good details. Yeah, there really are. They really are. Ah, you know what you will notice though? Speaking of details, you will notice that a very late addition was the RGB down the rest of the body. And this is another one of those things where I was just getting in my own way, being nervous because I really should have known that it wasn't that big of a deal. But I was like, fuck, I didn't mention it all the way till now. It was actually like after the entire body was fully rendered that I was like, wait, but but like, wait a minute. But like, wait a minute. And of course the feet, the last thing that we have. Right? No. Okay, we actually have the full body. Yeah, we had the entire body done before I was like, wait, can you add one more thing? Can you add the RGB on my body? And I was like so anxious about it, about I don't know, about just like having not brought it up sooner. And I don't know. I shouldn't have been, right? I shouldn't have cared. And this has helped me get better about that, about just fucking saying the thing. Yeah, she was great. I had no changes. She just did all of that in one step. And I was like, yes, thank you. Correct. Because I think it looks way more naturally built. Oh, the only feedback I had was that I like wanted her to still preserve the good lines on the musculature without interrupting them too much with the RGB lines. And so like, I was like, the chest looks really good. So I don't want you to do like anything super crazy on like the pecs or the abs because they look immaculate. So like, I want there to be something, but subtle. And she understood the assignment. She understood the assignment. She knew what was going on. It's the most handsome character you've ever seen. I'm so happy to hear that. You know what? It's been so, and we're back to the beginning. There we go. All right, we're gonna switch back to the chatting screen. Whoop. It's been such a process, and it's so, how do I say this? I have confidence that this model is incredible. But at the same time, there's a certain level of like, I've been working on it for so long that I'm like, how are other people gonna feel? Even though I was like pretty sure, you know what I mean? I was like pretty sure, but it's really nice. It's really sweet to hear that. I love it. Also, your comment, Aeon, earlier about like how both models fit my voice is also something I was worried about. Something I sort of got a little bit self-conscious about was, again, I don't really have like a super like deep voice unless I'm, actively trying, but I would say like my natural speaking voice, especially when I get excited, when I'm in presenter mode, when I'm doing like, when I'm getting all excited and talking to you guys and stuff, my like voice gets a lot higher, a little bit more like nasally or whatever. And I was like, is it gonna fit this body? Is it gonna fit this body? Am I gonna end up being like, this model is too hot for that voice? Which is stupid. Like, you know what I mean? But like at the same time, people's voice and model like combination does matter. As much as I wish it didn't. It can matter. And there's very much a horseshoe effect of it can like start in one perfect synergy, and then it can go far enough away that it feels wrong, and then it can go so wrong that it feels right again. You know what I mean? Like, so if the comments are anything to go by, people definitely want to pin the artwork. True. You popped out YouTube chat after I said that. Yeah, bro. The lines are so good they should be accentuated, not average. Yes, yeah. My voice does match though. Well, that's good. That's good. I'm glad you think so. I did actually like, as part of this whole process, I spoke directly, like with Zungi, you know, we got on a call, and I'd spoken to Zungi before. I actually met Zungi through the tea time with Alara, but I got on a call with her to work on it so that she could like get my vibe and get like the sound and vibe of my voice and the way that I talked and my mannerisms. And then with Blue Mary and Salty, I asked if they wanted to do the same thing or if they would be more comfortable if I just sent them like clips. And both of them said that they really wanted to see some clips just to, again, sort of like get the vibe. And I don't know how much that helped, but I think it did. I think that it like helped them capture the way that I talk or the way that I emote or the like types of things that I say or my sense of humor or, you know. Now the real question is, whatever it was, the vibe fits. Thank you. The real question is, the real question is, do I call it here at 2 hours and just start being the responsible guy that doesn't always stream for 5 hours? Or I probably should. I was gonna say, or do I just like play a game for an hour? But like, if we're being so fucking dead ass, I need some time. And it's so, okay, you know what's wild? For literally like the first year and a half I did this, my streams are like 2-3 hours. And then like in the past year and a half, I upped it to 5. I went from 3 hours to 5 hours. And back when I started, I was like, I don't know how I could possibly do a 5-hour stream. That's crazy. Now I feel the same way about like 8-hour streams. Like, I'm like, oh God, that would be so hard. But I can very easily do like 3, 4, 5 hours now. As long as I like also have a game to play. I can't raw dog 5 hours of just chatting. I can't quite do that. I'm not quite that powerful. But like ultimately, maybe, especially if I'm streaming more days a week, maybe I should just fucking chill out. How did I feel when I debuted the model on stream for the first time yesterday? I have a full week of events to survive. I know. That's what I'm saying. Like I should chill the fuck out a little bit, right? How did I feel? I felt cool like this guy. I felt so cool. No, it was, again, it's so strange because as per my like anxiety brain and my planning brain, as part of my debut, I wanted to do the best job that I could with marketing on Twitch and on YouTube and on TikTok. And I knew that my output speed of like specifically of shorts and TikToks was not fast enough to do it in real time of like make a week's worth and then make another week's worth during that week so that I'm always ahead. And so I had my model probably 3.5 months ago. Like it was done 3.5 months ago. And that's when I started like recording shorts and recording stuff and sending it to my editors, and some of them I did myself, some of them I sent to an editor, and planning out what I was going to do for them and planning out what I was going to do for this upcoming week. And so because of that, I actually like was already so fully engrossed and enmeshed and so used to using this model and so used to like how I've tuned it and how it moves and how it looks and everything like that, that like honestly, it was almost more like it felt weird more than anything else to like finally do it publicly. Does that make sense? Like it was like, it wasn't like a sudden rush and a chaotic explosion. It was like, yes, I have prepared carefully for this event and I have worked my ass off and now it's here. And then I'm like, yep, it went smoothly as expected. Sasuga, Grai. Like I fucking planned ahead and it went great. Does that make sense? It's like, it is weird. It's like, did it feel surreal the first time I used it? Yes. Now, the first time I used it at all was actually like kind of back in like December, I want to say, because the way that Salty does the rigging is she rigs the head first, and you pay like half up front. You get the head. She fully rigs the head, and then she gives you the head so that you can be like, yes, I like how this feels. I like how it works. I want to like do it. And you can like sign off on it. But actually, wait, hold on. Do I still have it? Hold on. Do I still have the like, I think I got rid of it, but I had the like head only version of this model for, sorry, I'm going through some of my model options. I had the head for this like 8 months ago, you know, and then I was like, oh my God, it's so good. I fucking love it so much. Oh, please, Salty. Yes. Oh my God, you're so good at this. Holy shit. You know, bowing, praying, you know, whatever. So then like after that, you know, I mean, I still have the files for it of just the head. And so then after that, you pay the next like quarter, and then she like starts working on the body, and then you pay the last quarter when you get, you know, the rest of the model. So I've been like playing with this model for 7 months. Does that make, it's like, it is weird. Yeah, the dual hand phrase. Yeah, exactly. I was a disembodied head. Yeah, it actually, I had the shoulders. Oh, actually, wait, hold on. Did I make a keybind for this? No, I should though. Wait, hold on. I actually can be a disembodied head still. It's not the same disembodied head. Give me a sec. Let's see. Okay, I didn't make a key for it. We'll just do that right now. We'll just do it. This is actually a function that I asked for. Hold on. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do this, and then we're gonna do. Oh, fuck yeah! Right in the ass. That's right. We're gonna come down here, and we're gonna go this. There we go. Okay, great. Yes, I can be a disembodied head. That is a thing that I have the power to do. I can live my best. I can live my best life as a disembodied head. The reason for that is that, and I actually love that it's disembodied, but the RGB lines go a little bit longer. I'm going to snooze the ads once. Is so that if I want to, I can use those customizable VTuber models that are like posed. Do you know what I'm talking about? Like where they're in like a side angle or whatever, and then you pin your model's head onto like an existing model so that it blends. Do you know what I'm talking about? So I was like, oh yeah. Can you like make it so that I can make my body hide so that I can pin it onto another body easily? Yeah. So yeah, I do have that power. I also, okay, wait, actually, hold on. I want to show you guys something that was kind of fun. I was just playing around with this when I was just playing around with this while I was setting this model up, because they added layer groups so that you can color the entire model all at once. And so when I was setting up the layer groups, I don't know if you've ever done this, but when you set up layer groups, it turns the entire model blue, and then any layers that you add to the group turn pink. And so while I was setting it up to select all of the layers of my like skin, it actually kind of looked like it fucking slapped. And so I actually just made a color combination of it after the fact of what I like to call like synthwave, where I'm just like fully... And I was like, damn, why this kind of slap though? Why does this kind of look good? Yeah, right? And I think what it is I think that because it accentuates the shadows and the lips a lot more as being more of like a bluish color, I think it like, I don't know, it kind of slaps. So yeah, anyway, I just like saved the color combo just for fun. But yeah, when I was like setting up my model, I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. It's kind of sick, you know? Yeah. Like this reminds me of like synthwave cover art. Do you know what I mean? Have I tried the colored outlines on this model? Oh, no. No, I haven't. Hold on. I can do this real quick. Oh, wait. Yes, I have. Sorry. I did it, just not publicly. Oh, nope. Hold on. I can make this work. Game. And if I do clone left and clone right, I think I can just copy and paste both of these. And then put them below me. Yes. There we go. Yes, I did. However, comma, it's a lot. It's a lot of colors, okay? It's a lot of colors. And I think it might be a little too much. I think it might be a little too much, especially with like the glass and like the wings and stuff. Like, it might be a bit much. But yes, I did try it out with this model. Like the hair goes crazy with this one. You love when my model squints? Like this? Yeah, anyway. Okay, I'm gonna take my own advice and like, you know, stop. Well, now that you've told me now that you've given me ammunition, I regret to inform you that you may be in danger. All right, I'm gonna take my own advice and call it here. Because I have a full week of streams to do and work to do for all of them and time to recoup and recover. So thank you all for joining me today. I hope you guys had fun. Nope, that's the wrong one. There we go. We'll turn those off. I hope you guys had fun. We will be back tomorrow at the same time doing a hand cam stream. I think I'm going to be doing glued on nails and making them black and pointy, and then maybe decorating them with stickers or something like that. Something kind of fun. And then the next day we're gonna have an Overwatch collab, which should be a lot of fun as well. Tiny stream, I know. Imagine a 2-hour stream from me. That's crazy. We're gonna raid into the one, the only micro celebrity restaurant mascot, Taehungi. You love the model and you love it with the outline. Okay, the outline, it's a lot. The model outline is a lot. I might just do like a single outline instead of the double color outline, because the double color outline like adds a lot of visual confusion into the like spiky part of my hair. Yeah, it's like a little too much with the hair, I think. So it's like the TikTok logo. It is like the TikTok logo. Anyway, thank you all for joining me today. We'll be back tomorrow. Have a good Sunday. Take care of yourselves. I took out the silly list, so it still looks good. Well. Bye. Thank you for joining me. Mwah.